What are you worried about the beetle working hard? It's eating what it likes.
This is the same as getting in foreigners to make cheap trainers, to me. They, let the beetle do what it wants. I mean, how long do they live? I read the other day about some elephant beetle. They get about 4 months.
Right.
What do you think of this, right? This elephant beetle in the paper the other day.
Yeah.
About the size of a gerbil.
Right.
Massive. Odd-looking thing.
Mm.
The bigger, the uglier it is.
Why are you looking at me?
No. In a way, that is the way it works, isn't it? I think size is a big deal, isn't it? In a way, because
this is interesting.
Well, we better being smaller, aren't we?
Well, it depends.
What do you mean?
Well, no. If you're afloat in the Atlantic Ocean and it's 4 degrees centigrade, it'd be better to be fat.
I didn't really mean like that. I just meant in terms of, like, Steve. I've mentioned he's taller than us.
Yeah.
He's always ill.
Well, that's nothing to do with his height.
I just think bigger people, it's like that Zhang Lung or whatever, the world's tallest man. He's always sneezing and that. He's always got something up with him because he's not meant to be that big. Small fellas, you never see a midget in a doctor's waiting room. they never get ill, do they? You never see one getting run over because they're too small, so you don't hit them. So I think size, if you're too big...
You never see a midget in a doctor's waiting room! Maybe they're there.
No, they're not. They're not. So what I'm saying to you is this beetle, that's massive, size of a gerbil.
Yeah, but it's still... But a gerbil's small. What do you mean?
No, this is a big one.
This beetle is massive. It lives 4 months.
Lives 4 months, been found in a banana crate. Right?
Right.
It's over here. They're upset for it, because it's been in this banana crate for... It could be, like, 3 months. And the whole purpose of the elephant beetle is to have it away. That's all it wants in its life. It's only got 4 months, and it loves having it away with another beetle. And it hasn't had it. So they found it in this crate, and it looked distraught. They said it was showing all signs of, like, desperately wanting to have it away. It was
well, when you can wank yourself to death with 6 legs, you leave anything alone for 3 months in a dark crate.
Just eating a load of bananas.
Yeah, eating bananas and whacking away.
Well, anyway,
6 times at exactly the same moment.
Its feet go, apparently.
I bet it does.
What do you mean its feet go?
That's a sign. When they got it out, they got the experts in. They said, "What is this? We've got a beetle here the size of a gerbil." They said, "We'll come round." They had a look.
I said, well, how big's the gerbil?
That's just scientists HQ. There's a hotline you can phone.
Come round. Right, you'll need a gerbil-sized box to bring that round in. Come round. Ring operator. Can I have people in charge of giant gerbil beetles? I'll put you through. Hello, gerbil beetle people. I think I've got one. Come round.
Anyway, its feet were going.
What do you mean its feet were going? Do you mean it was dancing like Lionel Blair, or it had bunions?
I haven't seen one, but
there's a surprise.
I just read that that they were saying, yeah, we know what's the problem here. Look at its legs go, and they go up and down a lot, and it means that it wants like a partner. It's dying for it, and they were saying they only live 4 months, and it looks about 3.5 months old. This one.
How could they tell that?
The problem is they haven't got any of these beetles here.
Right.
So they've had to, instead of flying it back out,
yeah,
they've gone over there to try and find one to bring it back because of the stress and that it's had, and it's older.
Couldn't you put a gerbil in a beetle outfit?
Hang on a minute.
I don't mean a little wig holding a guitar.
But I don't know the full story in that. I just know that they found this beetle.
It just sounds unlikely that people would be this concerned about one beetle, and it's only got half a month left. It's got 2 weeks left. It's got to have some sex. We have got to give this beetle some sex because, god damn it, it's a beetle. What was found on a boat with some bananas? It deserves sex before it dies.
I don't know why he cares more than a blood-sucking beetle than a chimpanzee.
I just can't believe people are flying out to Japan or wherever they come from.
Why do you care so much about beetles all of a sudden?
Only because they were mentioned, and I just thought, whilst we're on the beetle tip, let's discuss them.
What do you mean its legs were going as well?
That's what they do. That shows signs of, like, it needs a woman. It's never had one before, which is weird. That's what I was going to say. It knew even though it didn't. And you're talking about me brain and my ears and all that. There's an example of how the beetle's not in charge. There's something else going on in its body.
It's called instinct.
Yeah.
But that's true in a beetle, but it shouldn't be true in a human being.
But it is though, isn't it? Otherwise, how did the first baby survive? How are we here now? Because you look at babies and they're spoilt rotten. I'm sick of it, the way they don't do anything for ages. They wouldn't survive. A kangaroo comes out, it's hopping around in about 2 hours. Babies, they sit there for months.
So there's a very good reason for that. I've told you that.
It needs its mother. If that was in a banana crate, it would have given up after about a week. What I'm saying is...
a couple of days. It would have died in a couple of days, probably.
Yeah. Whereas this beetle, he didn't know the outcome. He didn't know if he's ever going to see this partner. Yet, even though he's been in this crate with bananas for 3.5 months, it still wants to have it away. Now, if I was that, I'd be like, I'm not in the mood anyway.
Why do you equate yourself with the beetle? This is what I don't understand.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying how that's where nature's good, and I think the beetles are better than us in a way.
We have got our brain, we've got our creativity, we've got our cognition, we've got all those things. That's our forte. That's where we kick in. Thought, introspection, art. I agree. Well, I could not live in a crate full of bananas for 2 and I admit that. I admit that if my mum had given birth to me and then dropped me immediately in a bin, I wouldn't have survived. Yeah. But I don't see your point. And I understand that beetles can do that, and I can't. But do you know what? The Beatles, they couldn't have written and directed The Office. So let's call it even.
Hey, all this talk of the Beatles, right, has suggested to me, let's have some more music. Here's the Rolling Stones.
Oh! Well, that's about it. This is a test transmission for the Enemy Radio. I've enjoyed it. I think Steve's had a blast. He's got his hat on.
Yeah, I'm as happy as Larry, mate. Just pleased that I've done it all for free. Yeah. Whereas Carl will be cashing a sweet, sweet check.
I know. It's looking after number one after all we've done for him.
I didn't even realise there was an opportunity to ask for money because I understood it to be a favour, so it didn't even occur to me to get my agent.
Always ask. Always ask.
No, because I'm doing it as a favour. If you said to me, "Can you come around and help me move house?" I would do it. I would not presume you're going to pay me for it.
Debt of gratitude. See, one day maybe I'll need the Enemy. One day I'll call up the Enemy, just like you call up scientists and go, I've got a beetle the size of a gerbil. They say, come round. I might call them up and I go, oh, what's the drummer from Dodgy doing? They go, come round.
But where does that debt of gratitude stop then? Because at what point do you say, well, I'll have some money, please? When I get a bill from British Gas, what will I do then? Will I just say redirect this to Enemy? Because that little debt of gratitude. Sammy Jacobs, the fellow who runs NME Radio, send the bill to him, please, British Gas, because he'll sort me out. No. He'll go, what are you talking about? That's not my bill. Sort it out yourself. And that's what I'm saying. The world moves on money. I make money to pay the bills. It's not for me. Sometimes I never see it. Doesn't even touch my hands. It goes in the bank, out the other way. Doesn't even stop. There's always people taking money off me for this, that and the other. And I'm not moaning about that. But all I'm saying is... That's
well, I know this and that costs you money, but why are you paying for the other?
Business, innit? Alan Sugar he'd say you're mad, you two. He'd say you're stupid. What are you working for free? What is this? Charity? Well, it isn't. He'd sack you two. He'd say, Carl, you're hired.
I would love to see you on The Apprentice. What would Carl be like on The Apprentice?
Wow, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Well, firstly, he's not a team player.
He's not a team player. No, he'd just go out getting his own money and say and not share it with anyone. So that's number one.
Joking.
That's number one. 2, you wouldn't want to do it. You'd say, well, why am I doing it? For that, I've got bills to pay.
Do what?
Well, exactly. Whatever he asked you to do.
No, it's a task, innit? And I wouldn't go on there.
Well,
anyway,
treat this is like a task.
Well, okay, here's a task right now. Last night on The Apprentice, they were doing interviews.
Oh, don't tell me anything, because I don't know who's in it. I won't.
All I'll say is that one of the interviewers says, and it's an old interviewing trick when you're working in business, they say, I've got a lovely luxury pen here, right? Here's a classic old Bic biro, right? Now you've got to sell that to me now, right? Sell it to me now. How would you sell it to me, right?
So this is a pen shop?
No, it's a test, right, to see how well you can sell something, okay?
Yeah, but...
Doesn't matter what it is. In this instance, it's a cheap pen, right?
No, but
sell it to me. Tell me the virtues of that pen.
But
Go!
Have you come to me or have I come to you?
No, what do you mean?
You're selling me that pen.
It's a task. You've got to show us how you would sell a pen to us. What's good about... Okay, tell me what's good about that pen.
Right, go. Sell me the pen. You're on my door, right? You're a pen seller.
So I've knocked on your door.
You've knocked on my door, you're selling me a pen.
All right.
Go.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm not interested. What you
Well, you don't know what I'm selling yet.
Okay, well, what are you selling?
Don't get nasty.
I'm not getting nasty. I'm just saying, do you like to write much? Do you do much writing?
Some writing, I'm a writer, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. How do you do that?
Computer,
we're a processor, computer.
Oh.
Yeah, thanks very much. Goodbye.
No, but hang on a minute. Just, do you ever use a pen?
Sometimes I use pens, yeah, but I got loads of pens. Thanks. I got a really nice pen here, beautiful, classic.
Looks like an expensive fountain
It's
pen.
an expensive fountain pen. My grandfather gave it to me. It's
Oh, that
family
one.
heirloom.
So that's quite a special pen. It
It's a
sounds
special
like.
pen.
I mean, it is a lovely pen and everything, but the problem is, when you go out and about, there's a danger that you could lose that.
That is very true, but I mean, I don't really take pens.
Have you
when
seen
I'm
these,
out and
sir? Can I interest you in
Just
some
looks
of these,
like a
sir?
cheap, tatty old pen, mate.
Sometimes you just want a pen that does the job, and this pen does that job. Do you want to buy some?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Well, because I just told you I've got a great
Genius.
pen. I've got a great pen already, and I don't see why I need that pen. It's cheap and it's tacky and it's
You're
no
saying
use
it's
to me.
cheap. Do you know how cheap?
How cheap is it?
Well, it depends how many you want.
Well, let's just say, for the sake of argument, I want 50 of them.
Yeah, I can do that.
What kind of
How
deal would
much?
you do for me?
£8.
£8 for 50 of those pens. I can get them for about a penny down the market.
Sorry, Carl, you're selling 50 pens for £8. How much do they cost you? Just want to make sure this is a good business venture for you, otherwise it's pointless. How much do they cost you to buy?
I got them really cheap.
But how much?
How much did I say you can have them for?
£8 for 50.
I paid £5 for 50. So
Really? Wait, this is. I'll have. Can I have them for £5 because I'm a mate?
you can have 25 for 50.
No, well, no. If you got 50 pens for £5,
I wouldn't do this as a living. Anyway, that's the thing.
Carl, can you get me 50 pens for £5 then?
50 pence for a £5.
Yeah.
It's not worth it, mate.
Well, no, I'm a mate. Just you don't want to make a profit out of me, do you?
It's not worth it. I'm trying to run a business there. I've got bills to pay.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to write something. I'm going to close the door in your face.
No, mate, you don't want a pen.
No.
Fine. Sometimes you've got to know when to cut off and move on. And
So that's what
I
you'd
do.
say to Sir Alan, is that you always give up? When someone says no, you give up.
I'll say I met him. He just wasn't having it, Sir Alan. So he didn't want any pens. If you don't want any pens, you're not going to buy them.
But you're a salesman, you've got to persuade me that I need a pen.
But what
Everyone
you
needs
said
pens.
But what are you saying about the other fellow that came out of well, just lurking behind him, but came out of the shower, and I went, oh, I'll have 50 pence for £5. What did you say to him? He said, not interested.
Yeah, because it all got a bit dodgy. I don't know who this person was and that, and he just wanted him at the going rate. What sort of a businessman would it be? For me, to have got the pens for £50, 50 pens for how much? 8.
You're fired.
Stick it up your ass.